Guess I'm playing video games for dinner. Alright. Battletoads for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Growing up in the 80s and the 90s, beat 'em ups were pretty common. It's a lot of action, you beat stuff up, makes you feel good. I don't remember why I've never beat Battletoads though. I do remember playing it. Let's find out. Battletoads is a game that was created by Rare in 1991 to rival the popular Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game series. If the name Rare rings a bell, it's because they were behind some great NES classic games, such as RC Pro-Am, Marble Madness, and Snake Rattle and Roll. The Battletoads consist of 3 amphibious heroes named after skin conditions: Rash, Zitz, and Pimple. So right from the start, you can see why the game was so relatable to kids and high schoolers. So right from the beginning, the story is pretty straightforward. Damsel in distress, needs help, heroes gotta go save her. The difference between this game and most games, though, is that not only is the princess kidnapped, but one of the 3 main heroes as well. Beat-em-up games were popular on the NES and relatively straightforward. Take for instance Double Dragon. You proceed on a linear path, punching, kicking, and using weapons stage after stage until reaching the final boss. This formula was successful for many games like River City Ransom, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the arcade game, Bad Dudes, Renegade, and Kung Fu. For the most part, the gameplay remained similar across games. Battletoads changed things up by introducing comical finishers that mix serious fighting game brawling with Looney Tune-like mayhem. Punching would end with a huge fist making the final blow, kicking caused an oversized foot to give the boot to the bad guy, and a dash attack would not simply cause the character to do a headbutt, but would create ram horns for a ramming attack. Battletoads kind of changed it up because it went from side-scrolling beat-em-up action to the first-person boss's perspective, and down into side-scrolling some more. Or downward scrolling. Vertical scrolling? Stage 3 seems to be back on the side-scrolling. I don't really see what the issue is with this game. I've heard that it's pretty hard, but maybe I'm just that good. Nah, it's probably gonna get harder. Ooh. Now we get a ride on some motorbikes. Alright. What? I dropped through the ground, through the floor, through the platform, whatever you want to say. I went straight through it. Alright. Getting serious now. Well, let's try it again. Well, let's try it again. You ever get so into a game where you think that moving the controller actually does something in the game? Yeah, I just had that happen. Hey, Eris. Don't judge me. This game is impossible! You think you could do any better? Then there. Jeez. Thank you. Alright, on to the next stage. Back to more fighting? Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. Well, at least I can get through the rest of the game as long as there's no more vehicles or additional modes of travel other than just walking to the side and beating stuff up. Finally, a boss. And this boss is going to be so hard because it's been so hard to get here. Watch. It's my time to shine. really. Go ahead. Nice. The Battletoads made their way to televisions when an animated program was created. It served as a prequel to the game and was about 3 junior high schoolers that were provided abilities to transform into anthropomorphic toads with superhuman strength, and the ability to change their arms and legs into weapons. It was intended to be a pilot for the series, but was ultimately never picked up. The story can be found in GamePro though, and a Battletoads comic appeared in Nintendo Power. Ugh, this game is so long. The only thing that can make this bearable would be a montage with overly happy music. while she takes care of that, how about some more history? The Battletoads would lead to more games over the years, including a Tiger Electronic handheld game and a few games for the Game Boy, NES, SNES, and Sega Genesis. Battletoads and Battlemaniacs was the Super NES game that came out in the series in 1993, but this time Zitz and the daughter of the Cyclone Industries CEO were kidnapped. They sure do have trouble keeping their team together. They were supposed to be competing with the Ninja Turtles, but I don't remember a Ninja Turtle game where you could only select one or two of the turtles because the rest of them were trapped with April. The Battletoads also had a crossover game with the Double Dragon brothers, Billy and Jimmy Lee. It was a lot of fun mixing up the characters and experimenting with various pairings. They hit the arcades as well with voiceovers and the option to select any of the three Battletoads. So, finally a Battletoads game where you can pick any of the three Battletoads. A novel idea, I know. A few additional claims to fame for Rare that came out after the original Battletoads hit the scene include legendary fighter Killer Instinct, SNES game-changing Donkey Kong Country series, Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and everyone's favorite Nintendo 64 game, GoldenEye. Though the Battletoads' last full game was in 1994, they've remained in pop culture over the years and popped up as bonus bosses in Shovel Knight, as well as a playable character in Killer Instinct on Xbox One. We haven't seen the last of Battletoads though, as gameplay was shown for a brand new Battletoads game at E3 2019. It showed off hand-drawn 2.5 graphics in 4K. The art style was met with some criticism, but much of the zaniness remained. One more thing that Battletoads is known for is its rockin' soundtrack. So much so that it has a track for pause. Can you go ahead and pause it real quick? Yeah. It's a jam right there. Alright, you can continue. Thanks. We make a pretty good team. For as difficult as the vehicle stages are, the bosses are pretty lame. There isn't even a challenge in this. It's like the game's mocking me. Alright, finally! Looks like we're at the end of the game. Going up a tower. Jump. Jump. Alright. Final boss. Go. Bam! Beat her. Yeah. Is that... Really? She can still hit you after she's defeated. So if that was my last life, I would have just lost the stage. That's not fair. Well, whatever. Well, if nothing else, I can finally say that I beat Battletoads. And, since Lou's not here, I get to finally say, thanks for...